All right.
Take two. Take 2.0. God, that was a horrible fucking start.
That was delicious.
Restarting
delicious
from the beginning.
All right, in 3,
2, 1.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Project Airwaves. I'm D,
and this is Lynn.
Coming back at
it again.
Happy belated Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Black Friday?
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Well, it's the end of Black Friday.
It's the end of Black
us.
Friday, yeah. I guess it's the middle to the end of Black Friday. And I mean, was there really even a Black Friday?
I mean, it was COVID Black Friday, so I mean, it was like,
I feel like everything's going to be based off of... Well, I feel like the whole month of November was like a Cyber Monday kind of thing.
The whole month of November was...
There were sales everywhere.
A fucking trip. Well, I mean, because we still got the presidential election. Mm-hmm. You know, Trump's still throwing his fit over the votes.
I think he's almost... I'm pretty sure
it's
already
almost
accepted,
done.
Yeah.
It's almost done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can expect there's going to be some dumb shit, even because he refuses to leave office peacefully. They've shown multiple times between Obama and Bush and all of the previous presidents, you know, they made a sound effort for what's called a peaceful transition. So, you know, when...
that shit got thrown at the fucking window.
Yeah, you know, Bush, no matter how he felt, gave Obama a peaceful transition. Obama gave Trump a peaceful transition. And now Trump is refusing, or at least making it sound like he's refusing to give Biden the same respect as a peaceful transition as he was given by Barack. So that's going to be some fucking shenanigans. We're in Vegas, for any of you who don't know, and we are currently on a soft lockdown.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That soft lockdown is going to be such a headache. To take a step back to how Thanksgiving was.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so how was your Thanksgiving? What did you do? Did you eat?
Okay. So Thanksgiving for us has become complicated, as I'm sure it has for many other people. Mm-hmm. We were going to have it, and then we weren't going to have it. And then at the last minute, my mom said, you know, fuck it, Thanksgiving's on, let's go. But you got to wear masks. So, you know, I looked at her, and in my mind, because when Lynn took me out on my birthday, we went to a bar. And so you go to the bar, and you wear a mask, but as soon as you start drinking, you take off your mask, and then fuck it. So the same thing happened at my house. It was like, okay, there's only about 5-6 of us. And as soon as we started eating, the mask came off, and...
Which defeats the fucking purpose.
It defeated the purpose,
it kind of takes away from the relevancy of doing it.
You know, Thanksgiving was amazing as always. My mom cooks really good food. You know, it's just
such good
delicious food.
I haven't eaten.
It's just a get together of deliciousness, and then we all get the itis. Yeah. So it was nice to have, but we got really close to not having a Thanksgiving. Now Lynn has a different story to tell.
My Thanksgiving. It got robbed from me. My original plan was obviously I don't have really any family out here.
Right.
It's just my dad or my stepdad and my brother, but I do call him my dad. My dad caught COVID.
Oh yeah.
Like literally like 4 days before, and he'd called me. You know, he called me and he told me, he's like, hey mijo, just letting you know. He started, you know, he's always like that. He tries to hide when there's something wrong with him,
right?
Because he wants to know how you're doing first,
right?
So he was asking me how I was doing and how work was and everything like that. And then when the conversation kind of came to a crawl, he told me, he's like, hey, so Thanksgiving. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to it. And he goes, you might not want to look forward to it because we're not going to do it. And I was like, oh man, that's like telling me fucking that. I look forward to it because I'm a fatty at heart.
Oh, well,
I like to eat good food. Yeah. So when that got canceled, he told me, you know, he was feeling under the weather. You know, was running a fever and stuff like that. He was still going out and going hiking and bike riding and
trying to stay healthy
and active, get as much vitamin D as he can from the sun. He told me that, you know, he felt like he was going to pass out.
Right.
When I got tested positive. Him, my brother, and my uncle all live in the same house. And my uncle tested positive as well. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, my brother being barely 20, his immune system was good. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, he texted me today telling me that he didn't have it. You know, thank God. But you know, it sucked. Yeah. Thanksgiving was still good. You know, I still got to have a good time and chill and stuff like that. Still had some decent food. But it's so weird trying to get food here in town because I wanted to order stuff from Marie Callender's.
Right.
And they did, but it's weird. I remember a couple years ago, my mom, she wanted to just order something because she didn't want to cook.
Right.
And Marie Callender's was fire. Like, I'm telling you, their pies are good, their meals are good, everything.
Amazing.
This year, they weren't ordering food. You couldn't place an order. I called 3 different locations, and every single location was just a blank dial.
Wow.
And then when you show up, they had a tent outside, and the tent was what you would go to in order to get the pies.
They would bring it out from the store.
Exactly. And you could go in there and place the order, but they would have to walk right back outside to get the fucking pies and then come in. So it kind of like defeated the purpose. So
what is your cat doing? I'm sorry.
I don't... First off, it's not mine.
I'm sorry,
but these animals are.
He just started pulling on like.
Yeah,
sorry.
They're a little special ed.
Marie Calendar.
Just to top it off, Thanksgiving it wasn't a total bust, but it was still it sucks.
It was shitty.
For COVID year, Thanksgiving it sucks to not be able to get together with people. But I mean, at least it's not like how California is. I know California.
They're on like fucking. They got curfews.
They've got curfew.
They're on lockdown.
Their lockdown is infinite, where they're still having riots and everything out there.
It's ridiculous because I don't understand how people aren't willing to just say fuck it. Just this one year. Maybe we don't have Thanksgiving. Maybe we don't have.
People are very festive, man. It's like
Christmas is right around.
Christmas around the corner, and it's the same equivalent of like going into how Black Friday was going to be like.
Right.
Were there really people waiting in line to go get food and shit?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Was there really?
Depending on where you are.
Or are you really shopping the fucking malls to go get stuff?
Right.
Like I feel like a lot of these people that work in retail, like, and I worked in retail for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was in management when it came to that, and this year, how the fuck do you account numbers?
Right.
Like, how are you going based off of your year goals or past year your LY sales if you can't make any money when there's no traffic?
Right. There's no people.
So I don't know. I mean, Thanksgiving overall, it was pros and cons, but it was the best. It was the best in the worst situation.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You made the best of it, what you could, and that's really all I think everybody else listening was able to do. You just make the best of it. If you're with your family, be thankful. It's amazing. Very few of us are actually able to have such a availability as family and or friends. Like me and Lynn were talking about how things were so different when we were younger. We had like shit to look forward to for the weekend or for holidays. It was like, yo, I can't wait to go to the movies. Like even though we didn't give a shit what movie we were seeing. It was just the fact that we got to hang out. We had our girlfriends there. We got to spend a little bit of money. We were young. Life wasn't as serious. And then we got older. We became adults. It was like, hey, let's go out. We have this, had a pool hall out here called Cuties.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it closed, right?
I don't know if it's open or closed. I heard it got turned into a karaoke bar now or something.
Yeah, because there's already a karaoke bar
there. We used to go down there. They were open 24 hours. We would go down there 18, 19, 20, 21 and just play pool. You would pay like $5 an hour or something.
It was something easy to do that didn't require you to go to a club
when
or go
you
to
didn't have shit
event.
to do.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have shit to do.
You know what
I feel like, which we will kind of touch base in the farther down we go into this topic, is just trying to take advantage of what little things we can do as the year starts to taper off. Because once 2021 comes in, we don't know what the fuck is going to change. Right. But so going back to what you're talking about, the soft,
killing me softly,
silky smooth, baby soft,
Charmin soft,
Charmin cha.
Charmin less is more.
Is that was this Charmin's Ultra?
Charmin Ultra, less is more.
Yes. Toilet paper, doodle paper, soft lockdown.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest fucking thing. I don't know how to fathom. So to give my 2 cents into this,
please.
Since I do work for a casino, it's not all properties, mind you. It's just the select few. I'm not going to name mine, just to not put names out there. But my property is doing this fucking soft lockdown starting November 30th till the unknown dates, even though our management is telling us it's probably going to run until fucking February.
Right.
From Monday at 12 p.m. to Thursday at 12 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, open 100%.
Right.
No big deal. Even though it's technically 25% capacity.
Tourists or whatever.
Yes. But people are still going to check in.
Right.
So we have 2 towers. Our our medium lower budget tower where most of the traffic goes through is the one that's taking the hit.
Right.
You still have the middle of the casino open, everything else is open, restaurants are finally open, but then the more expensive tower, they're keeping that 24/7. So what they're doing is they're trying to flip a profit by making money by sending the lower end the lower end people to the high roller suites at a little bit of a lower cost to make to break even. It's like, but you're not shutting anything down. All you're doing is transferring foot traffic from one area to another. The capacity is still going to be relatively the same.
Because the goal is to not shut down if they can help it.
So it's like, I understand the pandemic and I understand what's going on because, like I said, my dad and my uncle both got it. We're starting to see the likability of just everybody catching it.
Yeah, because even my girl's people, they're starting to get it one by one.
Everybody's getting it. So
extended family,
shutting things down just seems irrelevant because it's spreading fast enough or too fast for us to just stop it.
Yes, because we're too late. Look, this is shit you should have done in the beginning. That's with the lockdowns and the border lockdowns and curfews and all that shit. This is what you should have done back in March. Okay. Now I get it where the cases are building, or so they say. I'm slightly skeptical, and I'll explain why. I'm skeptical because we just had numerous reports of false positives.
False positives, yeah.
Elon Musk did, I think he did what? It was like 2 or 4 tests in the same day with the same machine. He got 2 positives and 2 negatives. You have people being double counted for their testing. You have people getting incorrect results. You have people getting tested one day, they're negative. They go back the next day, they're positive. You have people getting retested who had it before and who are catching it again. It's one of those things where it's just like, okay, so now that we've already missed the opportunity to really, I guess you could say, contain it, what are we going to do moving forward? How can we actively control the situation? You already know, as human beings, you can only keep us inside for so long.
It won't go into a full on lockdown again. I know
they're going to try.
They're going to try, because
but they got to send out another check.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Is that other stimulus check was supposed to come in fucking November.
It was supposed to come. Yeah,
it was supposed to come in November.
We probably won't see it till after Trump leaves office.
No, and that's supposed to be his end off, wrap off, which was supposed to be that.
Yeah, if he would have gotten a second term.
Sisolak caught COVID 2.0, which I was talking to one of the guys. I was talking to one of the guys at work today. I was in the EDR talking to him, and he told me he was joking. He's like, "Hey, so the zombie apocalypse is coming." And I was like, "Why?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "So people are catching the COVID 2.0 virus, and they're coming back to life and attacking people." And I was like, get the fuck out of here. He showed me this little bullshit article of somebody practically almost dying from COVID. What? Their fever was at this substantially high. It was like 107, which is above. Yeah, that's bad, your brain's literally melting inside your head at that point. This person died and then somehow came back to life. They resuscitated him, brought him back, and then in a panic they started attacking the staff.
Oh well, and so everybody does that.
They chalk it up to like a Raccoon City kind of. All right. Because they're dying. Because that's exactly how the T virus would be. Is that it would overheat your body. You would melt from the inside, die, and then resurrect and go back.
But I mean, that's any near death experience. I mean, at any point, if your heart stops, you are officially dead. Mm-hmm. That's how that's why it's called cardiac arrest.
Well, you remember Constantine when how they showed how they depicted what it was like to die? Because he dies in the ambulance, and because in your actual death time, time slows.
Yes.
So what 15 minutes was like 5 hours for him.
Yes, it was,
and it's like everything came to a crawl.
It was a ridiculously long time, and I hope death is nothing like that, especially if you're going to hell.
God, no. That just seeing that, I was like, oh my God, I hope that's not the case. I'm sorry for stealing shit from the store.
But that's what it feels like COVID is turning to. It almost feels like COVID started out really serious. We're like, this is a pandemic. This is a virus. We're all going to potentially contract it, and we need a vaccination too. Now it's like the most conspiracy theoristy type shit is getting out there, and people are running with it. Like, oh, we're all going to be zombies. Well, no, but I mean, it feels that way because shit's weird. Trump still doesn't wear a mask even after he caught COVID and recovered from COVID.
So there was a thing that I saw. We'll wrap up some of this because I know
we don't want to go too long. Sorry.
No, it's not even that. It's I noticed with with how the algorithm picks up is that if you're talking about politics or COVID for too long,
we'll get flagged.
We'll get flagged, and they'll rip the whole thing down. If you're picking at it, because that was the research that I did on it. Yeah. If you're picking at it, it's fine. But if you start talking, I was listening to the HWMF podcast. Shout out to Seth Ferosi if he ever listens to this. He says some vulgar, profound things.
Yes.
Like just some of the worst shit doesn't get flagged.
Yes.
But then the minute that they talk about politics and COVID related, I don't know why an algorithm they don't want it to be announced. Yes. So it gets completely fucking ripped.
So for those of you who don't know, we recently started uploading to YouTube. Mm-hmm. So we're taking our direct podcast and from what you hear on Anchor, that's what's going to be on YouTube. So we're trying not to do any additional editing. So we're just trying to find a way to work around the algorithm while at the same time giving you the same content we've always brought you.
The algorithm's interesting. What we're going to start doing with these episodes, because we're going to have episode 1 through 30 going forward, and it'll be all audio based. So if you just kind of want to sit back, relax, let it just play in the background while you're doing the dishes or doing whatever, which is what I do. A lot of my podcasting, I might not even be listening to what's going on. It's just it helps to have background noise. Yes. Because which is one of the things we will be talking about towards our ending is being trapped in your head. Yeah. Like kind of having that mental thought process of like, fuck, I don't want to think right now, but if I'm doing dishes or I'm cooking or doing something and I don't want to listen to music, you think. Right. So having a podcast playing in the background is fucking perfect.
It is. And before we get into that, before we get into our heavy hitting topics, really quick, shout out to Audible. We are currently sponsored by Audible. We will put the link for the trial in the description on Anchor and for YouTube. Also, hit us up on Patreon. Check us out. We have 3 tiers. Each tier comes with something amazing and awesome, and all of our patrons are going to hear this this a day before you hear this. So, you know, if you want those little perks, go ahead and jump onto our Patreon. Check us out. We also have Venmo in case you don't want to be on a subscription basis on a month to month.
Any donations will help with that. You can give us pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters,
whatever.
Anything. We will use the bare minimum to maximize our efforts to make this big. I'm telling you, having D come over and us setting up to record the thoughts and the things that he's telling me about how much drive he has. There's so much shit that we're getting ready to put out, and it's just about having the funding and the financing to get it going and running. And it's like we have the opportunity to do it. It's about finding time, which is what we need to do more than effort, and actually having the funding to do it, which, you know, our patrons are helping out a lot.
Yes, thank you guys.
Like, you know, donating to Venmo is a huge help.
Even a one-time payment, you'll still get a shout out, you know what I mean? Or if it doesn't tell us right away, if you make a payment, go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and send us a DM or something and let us know, hey, I just made a payment, just wanted to, you know, help contribute. We'll definitely give you a shout out, no time. But, you know, just wanted to cover that really quick. Everything will be in the description. Check us out. We're also on YouTube now, so leave a like, subscribe, comment. You already know how it goes. Ring the motherfucking bell, okay? Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. All right, moving into our kind of our more heavier topics. You know, me and Lynn were talking briefly about, you know, right before we started recording, and it's like, well, what's next for Project Airwaves? We're about to hit our 1 year anniversary here, literally in the next 2 months, because we started actually we posted our first episode January of this year, pre-COVID.
We did.
It's crazy to think that it's already been a fucking year.
We're recording,
you know, that we've been putting this out.
Man,
so
that's crazy.
You know, it's like, well, what's next? And me and Lynn were talking, and I'm very, like he said, I'm very driven. This is something that started out as a fever dream. It was something Lynn threw out there. He just wanted to kind of throw something at the wall, see if it would stick, and it stuck with me in a big way, because we have a following. People are listening to us. People are donating to our cause, and so that relit the fire in my ass.
Dude, it's crazy.
You know,
like,
if we have to keep going. You know what I mean?
I'm more surprised because what, you know, just so you guys are aware of how we started this. All I told D was that we needed to have within the first episodes 1 through 10, 100 listens. Yeah, and that was it. Yeah. It was the minimum 100 listens. If it didn't work, we'd scrap it. Say fuck it. We tried. It was you know, it didn't cost anything, and then let's go about it. Within the first 7 episodes, we already had well over 100. Yeah, and then by the time we hit 10, we were at 200.
Yeah, before we hit 10 episodes, we were over 100, and now we're almost at 1,000.
We're almost at 1,000. We're pushing 800 right now.
We're pushing 800 views on Anchor. You know what I mean? So not only do we want you to listen to us on Anchor, go ahead, like we said, scoot on over to YouTube. We'll start putting our YouTube link in the Anchor descriptions. That way you guys can find us and go over there. Like we said, hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and we will love you forever. Me love you long time. Okay? But that's the business side of things that I was talking about. I want us to have a bigger presence, especially on social media. You guys know we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We're trying to have more of a presence, but with Lynn working his shifts and his stuff changing, with my life changing,
it's
and
always fluctuating,
moving, man, and stuff. I mean, we thank you guys for keeping up with us, for following along with us through this wonderful journey. But we also want to give more. We want to do more. We ordered our shirts. We're going to order sweaters. You guys are going to start seeing us post that, so that way you guys can get hyped for the merch.
That'll be cool, man.
We're building the website. You guys have been hearing us talk about it over and over, but now you're slowly starting to see us reap the fruits of our labor, and it's all because you guys were here. You guys tuned in. You listened to us. You gave us your feedback, and we love you for it. So that's something I just wanted to throw out there. What's next for us? You know, we're going to start doing more videos. We're going to start doing audio. We're going to start trying to push out the merch. Yeah, so at least a shirt.
The shirts and the hoodies will come out relatively soon. We'll probably roll it over into, since we're going to the holidays. It would have been nice to have it all before the holidays, but realistically speaking, I feel like we can start giving
COVID,
good.
That pushed us back on
it's such a hard fucking thing, but there's so many different platforms we'll be able to actually start pushing things out. Once I guess we can announce it now. Once January kicks in, we're gonna hit our season 2. Season 2 will be audio and video, 110%. All the hand gestures that you see me doing, the random bullshit. It'll be a little. We're starting with scratch and we're learning as we go. So any video that you get from us, it's gonna be basic, but at least you get to see what the fuck we look.
It'll be raw.
You're gonna see what's going on, exactly. So you're gonna get a little bit from us to kind of push out there and show what our day to day is. We might even do a vlog, like a day in the life, so you can kind of just see what the content is that's coming out.
We'll try and do some live streams, so that way you guys can interact with us real time as we're putting out the content. You're giving us feedback right then and there on the spot. We would love that, and it's all thanks to the people that are currently following us and giving us your input. So that's what 2021 is going to be for Project Airwaves. Major business. We're going to try and get everything up and running. My biggest goal for 2021 2020 is to get our website up and running, so that way we can at least get our store on there.
Yes.
You guys have a direct line of contact to us, as opposed to going through a platform of media. You know, that's what me and Lynn always wanted. We want you to have a direct connection, a direct connection to us. Say it with your chest. Say it. Now, wrapping that up, going into our next topic. This is our heavy hitter. This one you might want to get a little motherfucking comfortable for, because we're going to get a little dark. It's going to get a little dark. And if you have issues dealing with darkness, then I want you to really steel yourself right now.
There's meat to what we will talk about. Everybody's going through right now. Everybody's going through right now. Okay. It's more or less finding good methods to cope with what you're dealing with, because we would be oblivious to say that everybody isn't going through things. I've been listening to so many different podcasts and different things of everybody's topics of, like, you know, with how COVID has pretty much isolated us to have to be by ourselves.
Yes.
You've got everything going up between crime, suicide, domestic abuse, robbery, theft, burglaries. Like, it's just all of this.
Now the riots. Now rioting.
Yeah, exactly. So with everything circling around, you get stuck in this feeling of just dealing with this negativity of your thoughts and emotions, and it's getting to a point where it's like, you know, Dee pretty much put it in the best words I could possibly think of. You get stuck in your head. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Ron Burgundy said it the most. You know, he's stuck in a glass case full of emotion.
Yeah.
And that's my mind a lot of days, you know, because none of us thought COVID was going to be this long. We've been through, like I've said in previous episodes, we've been through H1N1, bird flu, swine flu, fucking giraffe flu, cheetah flu. We've been through it all.
Theraflu.
You know what I mean? And none of it seemed to have lasted more than a few months, maybe a few weeks at worst.
It's not even the
Ebola
virus.
Popped up.
It's not even the fucking virus itself,
not.
man.
It's everything we're doing.
Everything else that's happening around
the mask. Okay, like the masks were a thing. I get it. Wear your mask. Help protect yourself. Help protect others. But why are we criminalizing people for not wearing a mask? If I'm wearing a mask, if there's 3 of us in a room, I'm wearing a mask and you're wearing a mask, but the third person isn't, I don't give a shit because I'm wearing a mask. So that means I'm less likely, if not 100%, not gonna catch whatever they're exhaling. I get the whole safety thing, but we don't need to mob and lynch every single person who's not wearing a mask. Some people,
so
it just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
It's turning into a thing. Nobody wants to do what they're requesting of us, which is understandable. It's the state that you live in, which, at least from where we live in Las Vegas, it becomes an issue of what not to make it like you're a rebellion or anything like that, but it's like, what can and can you not rebel against? Because you know, I even noticed going to the gym, anything beforehand, the mask policy was never super fucking strict.
Yeah,
they would kind of pick at you like, hey, can you please put it on? You know, people were still cool enough to clean up after themselves and wipe down the fucking machines or sanitize them. The mask would kind of like, and I would be a hypocrite otherwise to say, it's like I would fluctuate because I have a beard. I have a relatively full beard. So putting this mask on,
it's pain in the ass.
It's like if people don't have a beard, just take a sock, a very fluffy sock, and put it underneath your mask, and then put your mask over your face.
And breathe.
That's what you're breathing with. So it's hard for me to fluctuate this. And this beard grows quick, so it doesn't matter if I shave it off. You guys ever watch Harry Potter when he shaves his fucking head? Next fucking day, my hair is already back. So being at the gym now, because Sisolak decided to flex and be like, well, what did he say? Somebody told me the concept of when the gyms really tried to send their notice of why they needed to stay open. He said, if there's exercises that you need to take off your mask in order to exercise, then maybe you shouldn't be doing that exercise.
Yes.
But it's you have to breathe.
Have you seen WALL-E?
Yeah. Were they all in the chairs?
Yeah, we're all fat. We're in a spaceship and floating around in chairs being force fed by the major corporation ruling the earth. That's what it feels like. It's like they, because I think it was in Australia or maybe the UK, and I apologize, but it's one of those places where you cannot leave your house. You just can't leave the house for anything. They don't want you exercising. They don't want you going outside to breathe any fucking fresh air. They want you inside.
Yeah.
And what is that going to make you? It's going to make you fat. It's going to make you lazy. And you're not going to be able to do anything for yourself.
It's the same thing in either England or the UK. I mean, we have, I will take this partial shutdown over what other countries are doing, because there's other countries that completely, they re-locked down everything. Like, I'm watching a lot of these YouTube followers, like in the UK, they had to make home gyms. Because they can't go to the gym
they're
anymore.
taking it a step further. They're giving you fucking wristbands. They're giving you certificates saying you can't travel unless you've been tested, unless you've been vaccinated, unless you're COVID free. You can't, you have to scan this thing or, badge in that thing. And it's just like, look, why are we taking this so far? COVID is a thing. There's no way you can deny COVID. None of us can deny, you know what I mean? But moving forward, it's just...
So how do you feel that this is affecting you? What is the emotional standpoint? So let's pull ourselves back, and then how is this affecting your life directly? What is it changing you? Because like I said, I can give you a couple reasons.
I can already tell you, I've always struggled with self-image, being body positive and seeing myself in a positive light. So when I started going to the gym with Lynn and losing weight and getting into shape and everything, that really helped boost my mental productivity and positivity. Now that COVID has hit, like I said before, I refuse to go to the gym. I don't want to risk it. So I just mainly go walking and everything like that. Well, now that it's cold outside, more people are catching COVID. They want you to stay home more. It's started to affect me because I'm putting on weight. Mm-hmm. I get off work. I work from home. What do? I go from working on a computer to watching TV. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I get to get outside for a minute or two.
But you're freezing. Exactly. It's the mental.
So you're trying to stay inside so you don't go outside and get sick.
Your physical and your mental are so fucked. It's making it to compare. Like me and D, we're on a very, very similar level of how a lot of this is affecting us, because me and him have always think relatively the same. We might have different lifestyles, but we have very, very similar thought processes when it comes to this. Mm-hmm. My mental, when it comes to training, it's like I've got to the point, the only time that is me is when I get to go to the gym. Right. So I say fuck it. I suck it the fuck up. I'll go. I will train. But then at the end of the day, I don't have anybody to affect other than myself. You have your family. You've got your girl and the kid. So it's understandable that you have to stop yourself from exposure.
Right.
Me, it's more or less, I've kind of buckled down to just being by myself. So it's like exposure to me isn't a big deal, but it's making it to a thing where it's like it's so hard to even train at the gym now that I was getting like lightheaded and dizzy because I could not take the mask off at all. Mm-hmm. They're so strict on it, and I'm not mad at them for doing it. Right. Because if they don't, they'll shut down. Exactly. And so it's like I kind of have I can't get pissed off at them because I understand I'm putting myself in that environment, and these are the rules that they have. But what's affecting it is trying to go to train is fucking hard. And if I can't physically keep myself active, I mentally start to program my brain to think about other shit. Yeah. My ADD kicks in, and you know what I was talking to D about is like I start to drift off. My brain starts bouncing off different directions. So I think about shit that I don't want to think about. Yes. What happens with me and what happens with D, and we both have this tendency to do, which I feel like a lot of people do, is bitching and complaining about what's bothering me and what's affecting my life or what I don't like about my life to people does me no fucking good. Because it's not going to change anything. I might feel good because I got it off my chest, but then the very next day that same issue is still there. If I see a pile of shit on the floor and I tell D, hey man, I'm tired of looking at this shit, and D be like, yeah, that shit sucks, man. Like it sucks that it's there. Well, I'm gonna go, and then I'm still staring at the shit. The very next day I come out, that shit's still gonna be there.
It's still there.
Bitching about it and changing it are two different things. The hardest thing that's affecting me and a lot of people this year more than anything is I feel like in order to better my life or anybody else's lifestyle, I want to be able to do something. Right. But we're very limited on what we can and can't do. I can't do anything. To go back to Dee's concept of going to cuties, going to a movie, going to a bar, just experiencing events to go get your mind out of the mundane day to day. Go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. Go to the gym, vice versa. It's starting to take a mental toll on myself, and on everybody else. Yes,
because you try to be positive, and all you
optimistic,
hear is,
man.
The C word, the C word, the C word. It's the vid, the Rona, and so we're trying to just let you guys know, if you're going through a tough time right now, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, even physically, we get it, and we're here. We're letting you know we're in the same boat as you. We're all struggling from day to day to make it through, praying that we'll wake up tomorrow and COVID will just be a thing of the past. And so, we're here to tell you, hang on, keep trying. It's difficult and it's not fun, but just like Lynn does it, just like I do it every fucking day, you gotta be a hardworking motherfucker to wake up every day, go to work, deal with Corona, deal with life, rinse, wash, and repeat, go to sleep, do it all over again the next day. It takes a really strong person, man, woman, child, I don't give a shit what you are. It takes an amazing individual to make it through COVID. So we're gonna do our best to make it through, just like we're expecting you to do your best to make it through. But really quick, one little thing I wanted to bring up. Hey, Lynn. Yeah. What's that?
What is that? Oh, a piece of candy. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Some people you explain to them what that is. Okay. I forgot about that.
So I thought of this on the fly. We kind of started a thing called 2 Scoops of Sensu a little while back.
Little tools that we have.
Trying to keep things positive. And then, as time went by, not saying that there was less positivity to talk about, but we had to kind of keep it more real. We didn't want to fake the funk. We didn't want to come at you pretending to be something we're not. So after a while, kind of 2 Scoops of Sensu kind of just faded off a little bit. It's still there. Mm-hmm. We're just, waiting for something something a little better to come along. So we came up with a little segue, a little mini thing called a piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. It's a squirrel moment to
find doom break.
Yeah, a what?
A doom break.
Doom break?
A doom break.
Like the game Doom?
No, like a break from all the doom and gloom of the world.
Yes, a doom break. I'm thinking like, what the fuck
you want to play video games?
I'm down to play some Doom. That sounds fantastic.
You got an awesome Christmas.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was cool. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely helping me kind of get my vibe. Not my vibe, I guess. What the fuck am I saying?
Kind of kill time.
It kills time. It helps. To hint off of how piece of candy works is you really have to. We spend so much time looking panoramic on every fucking thing that's happening, and I've used this phrase with a lot of people to kind of get them to see a perspective. Stop looking at everything panoramically. Mm-hmm. Put your blinders on like a horse and look directly what's in front of you and take it in for what it is and try to enjoy it.
Right.
Getting a little bit of something. The gift that I got, which was a wonderful gesture and everything, it definitely it's not the fact that it was an expensive gift and what it came with and what it does. It's the fact is that somebody took time out of their day to try to make me feel better.
Yes.
And there's so much shit going on that you become so self-endowed with, this is why I'm sad, this is why I'm upset, and then you take away from granted, oh, well, here's something for you. Well, I don't want that. I want this to be better. I want this to be better. Right. Take for granted that you're getting something that's good for you.
Yes.
That it's not meant for you and you may not want it right then and there, but it's a good gesture to kind of turn your attention.
Yes.
The piece of candy, something on the ground, a little scrap, be like, oh, this is cool. I'll enjoy this. There has to be a lot of moments like that.
There has to be. It's the little things. And it's one of those situations where it's just like you're walking along and all you're hearing about is CV19 and like Lynn said, you're just walking down the street and it's like, oh, piece of candy. Or you might see a shiny quarter. That's how life works sometimes. You just have random moments of shit happening. You know, it's not good, it's not bad, it's not hurting anybody, but sometimes shit just happens and you just gotta kind of let it go. So my little chunk of a piece of candy, I bought my girl a air fryer. And
so good.
It was random. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it. She brought it up to me many times in many conversations past. I was just sitting there one day doing something. And I saw this like commercial and it was like air fryers, Black Friday sales early, this and that. So I got her an air fryer and she loves it. She's been cooking her ass off. That's part of the reason I've been putting on weight, is because she's been cooking every fucking thing she can find. She even went on fucking Pinterest to find all of these little treats and goodies and stuff that she can cook. So she's been cooking like cookies and fucking corn dogs.
Dude,
bro, I've just been in fat.
No wonder why you're fucking.
I got a gut.
Yeah, you know, and it's like with all that fucking food, if you start implementing towards training, you start lifting, you're gonna be built
like a stack house,
shredded.
But it's cold outside, and I'm lazy, and it's COVID. I'm sorry.
Yes, I understand.
So moving into our last topic before we wrap it up, one of the last things me and Lynn discussed. Actually, we've been discussing this for years.
For a while,
it's just never something we put out there.
Oh, yeah.
We're putting it out there now. It's one of those things where in your life, at times in your life, maybe after you've gone through a hard situation or you just put your blood, sweat, and tears into something and you really didn't get much from it, is it bad to want more? What about if everything's going well? What about if everything's going good? Your money's good, your life's good, your relationship's good.
I mean,
nothing could go wrong. Is it bad?
Am I being selfish for wanting more?
Is it bad to want more?
It trickles off, and I try really, really, really hard to not dive into, you know, how relationships run and stuff like that.
Right.
And I want to be optimistic for everybody, you know, for anybody that's in a relationship that's to not.
Of course.
It comes into a comparison. It's something that got brought to my attention, which is very, very crazy to think about. And I'm going to ask you this question. Mm-hmm. So, being in a relationship, you come across two different types of people in the relationship.
Yes.
You have the consumer, and you have the conventionalist.
Yeah.
The consumer is the individual who needs are more important than the relationship.
Okay.
And the conventionalist is the good of the relationship takes precedence? Precedence over the immediate needs of the individual.
Mm-hmm. So are you a giver or a taker?
Are you a giver or a taker? Which, and it's crazy is that the fact is that they already have these kind of topics. You know,
the cat is going crazy
I don't know.
We don't know what's wrong with it.
So are you a giver or are you a taker when it comes to being in a relationship? What is it that you feel like that you are? What
it's always everything goes toward the greater good. So at the end of the day, no matter what,
if you when decide who you were,
yeah,
what would you consider yourself?
I'm the giver In any relationship I've ever been in, it's what matters most. So what will benefit the relationship more, even if that means inconveniencing myself, maybe doing something I'm uncomfortable with, as long as it's not really hurting anybody or causing any major issues, I'll usually endure, for the greater good, because the relationship means more than my own personal feelings at that particular moment.
Which is crazy. It's so the pros and cons from what I've been getting from this, and so that makes you a conventionalist.
Yes,
which is exactly what I am.
Yes,
my relationship's always been, and which makes me feel like we're not all alone in this world when it comes to how we feel when it comes to being with somebody or without. Is our wants and needs are different. I have things that I want. There's so many fucking things I want, but being how I was raised and how I grew up, my relationship has always been the priority. I don't do things for myself. I don't buy things for myself. I don't treat myself because I always make sure the person that I'm with, I'm always making like you're fed, you're taken care of, you need something, you got something. I will grind and grind and grind to make sure that person's lifestyle is a priority, no matter how exhausted I am. But that's pro of being that person. The con of it is you start to notice that if that relationship doesn't work out the way that it needs to, or it doesn't meet the expectations, you start to realize that you're left with nothing in your hand.
Because you've given so much.
You've given so much and
without taking
anything in return.
Realize you don't
you're
have
starving yourself
left.
while you're imposing gluttony onto someone that might not want it. You're force feeding this care into somebody, which is making this person think of you as like they're putting you on a pedestal, making you think of you're this amazing individual. But in exchange, now you have nothing to show for it. So if this person goes and all your eggs are the concept of saying don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have nothing to show. So it comes to the like I don't know, to the standpoint of I don't know how else to.
Well, because me and Lynn have played both sides of the field, and no, I'm not talking about sexuality. We've played both sides of the field where we've been the guy that has had the side chick just in case the relationship didn't work out, and we've also been the guy that didn't have anything, and we put all of our eggs in one basket. So it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, or we just do all 12. And so that's kind of where we are at a crossroads in our lives, because we've seen the dark side and the light side. We know what it's like to be cheated on. We know what it's like to do the cheating. We know what it's like to do the lying and be lied to. Blah 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 blah. But
you're playing a game of Pong. It becomes the back and forth.
Right. What we've decided is we want to be the better person, and
we're trying to find a third tier.
That's
like
it.
There's this. You can either be one or the other, and to kind of give the definition of how a consumer is when you take in everything that person is giving you, and then when your needs become so fulfilled, like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, you do this, give me this. If you're a person who is the opposite, because you have one or the other in the relationship, there's not two in the same. It's very, very, very rare to find someone that is all consumer for both relationships or all conventional.
Well, no, that'd just be poisonous.
It's just toxic. Yeah, exactly. So once the consumer gets fulfilled of all the shit that they want, and they realize that they keep wanting more, you get to the point where like, okay, well, you're not doing anything else for me, so why are you still here?
Yes.
Why do you exist? Why? And let me toss you to the side and talk about someone else to give me what I need. I'm not trying to make it seem like that's a selfish person, because it's not. It's just it's who they are as an individual. They see an existence in being of wanting what they want because they know what they want, and that's cool. Strive for it. Take exactly what it is. Be a hardworking motherfucker. Do the things you want to do to get what you want for yourself, but don't depend on someone else to feed that to you.
Well, and that's the thing. We're trying to sum up years of life experience in a few moments. So please, if we're not breaking it down,
put it in the comments, way, and like if you have a better perspective of how it is, it's just what we've summed up is that you get both sides, and it's never someone being 100% consumer all the time, because you do have people that will fluctuate.
Switch.
They switch. There's times like, I want to be selfish, and this is my day. I'm going to do what I need to do. I don't want to do this for this person. And then there's other times where it's like, oh, I know this person needs me for this, even though I'm exhausted and I want to sleep or chill, play a game. I'll put it on the back burner. It's about finding a balance of both, not 20% consumer or vice versa.
And finding someone who will balance with you. Because it's one of those things where if you're the only one trying to find the balance in the relationship, and the other person is slightly offsetting things because they are constantly going, gimme, 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 that's a problem. That's parasitic. That's poisonous. And we're going to touch on this forever. When it comes to relationships, me and Lynn have been through the fucking ringer. But it comes down to, is it bad to want more? My answer to that is it's never bad to want more, as long as it's benefiting you and or somebody around you, whether that be your relationship, whether that be, your financial life or whatever. It's okay to want more. Don't get greedy. When you want too much, when your eyes are too damn big,
and
then you're going to start running into issues, because a lot of times people will get exactly exactly what they need, but they want more.
Yeah,
they want that.
Stop. What I was talking to the whole concept of the ooh piece of candy thing is.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very grateful for very small transactions.
Yes.
Like I don't need luxurious and big things. If you give me the smallest eensy beensy thing of gratitude of I'm sitting down and I'm thirsty but I don't want to get up and someone goes in the kitchen and gets me something. I am so appreciative of the fact that this person took time, that little bit amount of time, to give me something because it didn't have to happen.
Right.
I shouldn't need to rely on that person. To where I'm sitting here like you need to go get me water.
Right.
You need to go do this for me, and it becomes this magnitude of you become demanding for everything that you want. Me monster. Me monster. It becomes a me monster. Everything has to prioritize of what you need and what you want, and it's like, okay, well maybe I don't want to have to do that. Maybe it's just like, can't you be just cool with how I am and who I am as an individual?
Yes.
Like, why do I need to completely adapt and adjust every single time to change something? Because I will do it because that's who I am. I will, regardless if I don't want to do it, and if I kick and scream, I'm still going to do what you need me to do because I am a conventionalist.
Right.
I want to make the people in my life happy, no matter how upset I realize I become, because it's not who I am. I start to not recognize who I am as a person. So when do you find, to kind of wrap it up, how do you find a balance in between? How do you take some form of selfishness to where you aren't being too greedy, but then not giving too much?
And that's what it always comes down to, finding that yin and yang, that balance. That's literally the whole gist of Project Airwaves, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. It's finding that balance of, am I giving too much? Am I taking too little? Am I taking too much? Am I giving too little? And that's what we're always going to be here to share our 2 cents. We're going to give you our experience. And then if you're going through that situation, or if you know somebody else going through that situation, you help them go through it, get through it, and make it to greener pastures. Because even if whatever relationship you're in, whatever situation you're in, if it doesn't work, it's okay. You always have another chance. As long as you are breathing, as long as you're willing to wake up tomorrow and greet the sun with the rest of us, you will always have another opportunity to try again. So my answer to, is it okay to want more? Yes, it's perfectly fine to want more, especially if you feel like you're not doing enough. What if you just want to do more? Well, that's wanting more. That's perfectly acceptable. Do more. If you want to get more, well, then you gotta put in to receive. So that means you gotta do more to get more. It's all gonna work out to your benefit no matter what you do. But like I said, that's me and Lynn taking a whole lot of life, trying to sum it up in a few minutes. So by all means, if you have more you want to say, if we said something that offended you, even better, let us know so that we can discuss it. And then, hey, maybe you'll be cool enough and hop on our Patreon and become a subscriber. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit of
shameless
donations.
Plug. Shameless.
Nothing.
But that's all I got. Lynn, you good?
I am good.
I am toasty motherfucking fresh.
We are good to go.
Okay, it's cold outside, everybody. Bundle up, stay warm,
50s.
Wear your mask, wash your hands, get tested if you haven't, just to be on the safe side. It's better to know than to not know. Other than that, I'm D.
And this is Lynn.
We're Project Airwaves. Check it out. Again. Keep your head in the motherfucking clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground. And always moving forward.
All right, pimping. Checking out. We'll see y'all in the next episode. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our Audible trial. Check us out on Patreon. And if you don't want to be a monthly subscriber, go ahead and hit us up on Venmo for a one-time transaction, a one-time donation. Okay? Yes. We love you. You did good.
So long.